Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So how are you guys feeling in this eclipse season? I've been feeling good. Actually, last night I had a hard time falling asleep. I had a hard time falling asleep and kind of staying asleep. I was waking up a lot and it felt like, I don't remember my dreams, but they just felt like a lot was going on, as almost if I woke up and then the dream had a lot of things happening, then I would fall back asleep and then more. So I never felt super restful. Hopefully tonight will be different. Hopefully tonight I'll get to sleep better. Hopefully you guys out there are also sleeping well amongst the circumstances. But one thing has been clear for me anyway about this eclipse season, and I want to share with you guys because I feel like it's very collective, because certain situations have been happening in my life and I've been journaling about the situations, feelings actually. It's here's the thing. Something happens that triggers a feeling in me, a memory, and then I journal about them. And through the journaling, it's almost like I go from my head into my body. The recent situation was that a big emotion came up that felt disproportionate to what happened. And I was like, and my mind was like, whoa, this feels like a big emotion. This is way too big for what the situation is. It's not that serious. But then as I journaled, as I wrote, my mind or something within me, my intuition, your higher self, reminded me, hey, there is wisdom in the body. And the body gave you such a big feeling, such a big reaction to remind you that there is wisdom in the body. So what I wrote and what I got down to is my mind was rationalizing, it's not that serious, it wasn't so bad. But my body showed me something big, and it wasn't that it was out of proportion. It's just that it was a situation that happened for many years for me that was quite abusive in different ways. But my mind detached it. I rationalized that it wasn't that serious. But the body felt it. And because I've been removed from that situation for a while now, I'm open to feeling. And it felt bigger because, again, the mind kept telling me, it's not that serious. But the body was like, no, it really was. Stop diminishing what happened to you. Stop diminishing the abuse. I'm showing you right now that the bigness of your feeling was proportionate, was equal proportion to what happened. And it felt big because that's the amount of stress, trauma that I held on to without rationalizing, without being conscious of it. My body felt it unconsciously, but my mind, to deal with it, detached. And it was like, hey, it's not that bad, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. When it really wasn't. So my point is, perhaps this specific thing didn't happen to you, but what I'm feeling this eclipse season is doing is really showing us the truth. It's showing us that decisions we've made in the past are either the right decisions, and it's a confirmation, or that you need to make that decision for things to change. This eclipse season is really asking, who do you want to be? What do you want your life to look like? Now, I actually kind of hate this question, what you want your life to look like, because for me, it always sounds too specific. It's like, I want a house with 3 bedrooms and one of them was going to be my office. I want to make this much money. I want to be with this kind of partner. I want to drive this kind of car. It's too specific. So I'm offering you the question again. What do you want your life to look like? But this isn't to get specific. It can be as simple as, I know I don't want to deal with this anymore. For example, my Substack, I am loving my Substack. I'm loving what I'm writing. I'm loving what I'm putting out there. I don't have a lot of subscribers. And it's not that I don't care, because I would love to be making money off of Substack. I would love to have paid subscribers in there that support my work and it speaks to them. So if you guys are curious, check below in the description. It's there. It's free. You don't have to pay to read. It's all free. And I would love, that's what I want my life to look like. I would love to get enough paid subscribers where I can support myself. And I don't have to like work, I can work doing what I love to do. But do I have a number? Do I have, it's almost like I'm taping myself into a box, when that's not the case. It doesn't have to be. I just know that I want my energy, my love. There's an outpouring of creativity going towards my Substack and my writing. For now, that's gonna have to be. And I know that I want that to get bigger. Of course, I would love my YouTube to also get bigger. That would be amazing, because then to do this full time is a dream for me. But I know that that's the dream. To read cards full time, to be a witch full time, to be a spiritual teacher and counselor full time. But I also know that I want to leave room for magic. And also I don't have the specifics. I don't have the specifics. I don't know if I want to live in a small town or in a rural town by a forest, or if I'm a bit more urban and I want to live more downtown, right? I'm not sure exactly where I want to live. And that's okay. That's not the manifestation that the eclipse season is asking right now. But it is asking, what do you want your life to look like? And it doesn't have to be, again, I'm repeating myself, but it doesn't have to be, you don't have to know every detail. Just know one thing. Just know that maybe for you also want to be a spiritual counselor. Or that you don't want to be in that situationship anymore. All right. So as I was shuffling, the two cards that came up was message, which I feel it's like, listen to the message. Also release. Now here's the beautiful thing. This is another personal kind of symbol I've been getting, but perhaps is actually more connected than others. This is a lunar moss. Lunar, right, connects to the moon. I have been, number 33, angel number. Now, I have been getting messages that I need to get more connected to the moon phases, and what better time, right, than lunar eclipse, which we just had. So I've been learning more about lunar cycles, her phases, her faces, and how she kind of goes through the signs and everything. So I've been really connecting with Goddess Moon. So perhaps with the lunar moss here, there's a message here for you as well. Where is your moon in your astrology chart? Mine actually hit perfectly. It was the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, and my moon is in Virgo. So no wonder I couldn't sleep. No wonder I was feeling like all the craziness. So the message here is there a connection to the moon? Or, moths, moths are attracted to the flame, right? To the light. So for me, I'm being told by my guides to connect with Goddess Moon. Perhaps for you, it's a different luminary. It could be the sun. Maybe you're supposed to connect to the sun or the stars or Andromeda or Pleiades or something. Or maybe not. Maybe you're not getting this message. But the lunar moth is just kind of what's telling me perhaps do connect to the moon. Because next we have release. Number 42, which is 6. So interesting that we have 3, 3, 6, and then 4, 2, 6. The release here, we just reached the full moon. The full moon is about release. So what happens is the full moon hits her climax. Whatever we've been manifesting while the moon is waxing, that's what we're calling in. The moon hits full, that's the time, at least for me, that I take to be grateful. I take that moment to get to my altar and I just list things that I'm grateful for. Grateful for what I manifested, grateful for the work that's still happening, grateful for my shadow work, grateful for whatever it is that you want to put down in your list. Then after the full moon, the moon starts waning. That is the period where we just want to release. It's almost like we're clearing everything out, energetically, physically, emotionally. I actually yesterday spent a good while at night cleaning my altar. I took out everything, I cleansed everything, I smoked it, I put Florida water on it, I wiped everything down, and I set up in a bit of actually it's the same way, but just a few different items in there. And that was it. That was my cleansing. Also, I'm seeing the knife here. Of course, the knife means release, right? Cutting away. But also the knife is very protective. So people out there, spiritual teachers, they tell you not to manifest or do too much spiritual work during eclipses. I'm here to tell you, do whatever you want. I understand, but here's the thing, and here's where the knife and the protection comes in. Eclipses are chaotic energies. They are very intensified. I've been feeling this. I'm not sure if you have as well. So because they can be so intensified, we need to ground ourselves and we need to protect ourselves. Now, protection isn't so much about I need protecting from something, like I need to be afraid of something that's going to harm me. That's not protection. I don't know exactly what a better word would be, but I've learned through my years of spiritual work that protection really just means there is a barrier and you're almost sculpting, creating a shape around your aura, around your energetic field, that one keeps other people's energies kind of away and yours intact as much as it can. Because then what you're creating inside that protection bubble, I create a bubble around myself, is yours. And when you're in tune, for example, with the moon, you know that it's your energy and it's not kind of muddied up by other people's. So protection isn't like, I know this active, I gotta fight off these enemies. Protection is just creating a space, energetic space that is yours and no one else's. That's really what protection is. Of course, if you're dealing with a lot of hardships and challenges, it's okay to make your protection a little prickly. You don't have to go on the offensive, but you can put up defenses where if someone comes at you, they will feel it. So that's what I'm getting with release and protection. And the message here, at least for now, is connect to the full moon and connect to the moon in general and connect with this eclipse energy. There's like this bright thing and then this bright color and the kind of the darker color. I'm almost seeing this like sun and moon, light and dark kind of situation, which the eclipse gives. Okay. Let's pull some more cards. I'm using the Eigengrau Oracle deck, one of my new faves. Also new to my collection. Okay, one more shuffle. Okay. When I did the deck review for this card, I pulled a message for us, and it's coming up again. We got damnation, actually, but here it came up as salvation. That's awesome. Okay. So we have matter, we have bond, and salvation. I'm really finding interesting all these circles here. Actually, this symbol with the circle and the dot in the center is actually the symbol for the sun, the alchemical symbol for the sun. But here it's paired with the word matter. So I am going to actually go against a lot of spiritual teachers out there and say, really feel into your energy. talk to your guides, pull cards, work with your pendulum, whatever it is that you work with, to see if it's a yes or no. This isn't for everyone. But if you do get it, if you get a no, this is not delaying anything. It's protecting you. Or work on releasing, or work on just simply connecting to the moon energy and to the eclipse energy. Seeing what it happened, what it has to teach you. As I said earlier, for me, it's kind of reality. It's teaching a lot about what the truth is, the truth of my decisions, the truth of my life and my relationships. It's really showing me a lot. So really we're dealing with matter here. All right. So again, do your divination, tap into your energy and figure out if you're actually meant to manifest things into matter or if you're just meant to connect with the energy and let the energy flow. And it can be both. We can definitely do both, but depending on your level, or how you're feeling, really. It's not about levels. It's really how you're feeling if you meant to bring things into matter. But at the same time, what I'm feeling here with matter and bond is that I do love this image, how it almost looks like a hallway. It looks like two things, like either we're looking at a hallway from up above or there's a door that is opening and we're just seeing that light. But it's also bond, right? So what I'm seeing here is letting matter, or actually, when I just, I touched this deck just because I was like talking and sometimes you fidget and you touch things. I saw reality under here. So really, to me, reality and matter are speaking in a very similar way because reality is made up of matter, right? But allowing that matter that makes up your reality to bond, rebond, and unbond, detach from what it needs to. It goes back to the release here. It's almost like this knife cut the bond in the center is what I'm feeling. You see the circle? Very similar to this. It's almost like the release has cut the matter in half or into pieces. The circle is protecting us. Again, mind your protection and allow the release of the eclipses to do their thing, to reshape matter. Because with the word salvation, this is a big one, actually, I feel, because I know it has a lot of Christian connotations. So if that's your path, then great. And actually, I find a lot of similarities to us witches, to us occultists, and to religious people. We go into spirituality looking for some kind of salvation. My opinion, of course, perhaps you have a different one, but that's my opinion. People are so tied up to their Christian beliefs because they believe that if they're a good person, they will go to heaven and that's their salvation. Aside from what we're really seeing Christians do right now, which is, to me, won't lead to their salvation, won't to their damnation, but that's for a different time. But I know for me, for example, I came to spirituality, I came to the cards to look for a salvation, to look to do shadow work, to do therapy, to do psychology, shadow work, really, to lead me to my salvation. What I mean by that is not that I'll be saved or go to heaven, which I do believe in heaven or some sort of it. I don't believe in hell. Even though I work with a goddess hell, I don't believe in a punishment place per se. But what I'm saying that what I mean about shadow work leading to salvation is leading to a higher understanding, leading to me connecting to the moon, for example, and understanding what Goddess Moon has to teach us. Understanding what my fears, my shadow selves, my choices, I talked about in the beginning, how the eclipse energy is showing me that my choices have been good and have been truthful. And perhaps I need to make new ones as well. Those are all things leading to your salvation. What I mean by salvation here is your best life, your best self, something that you are proud of, a life that you're proud of, a self that you are proud of, right? And also what I'm getting here in my mind is whatever your spiritual path is it leading you towards self-betterment? Not only that, but is it leading towards the betterment of other people? I'm seeing here this being, and it's holding up a person. Here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing two things. This being our shadow self, kind of holding us up towards the light so we can see, so we can gain clarity. I love shadow work, but shadow work or any kind of therapy work is meant to lead you towards the light, towards self-betterment, towards feeling better about yourself and your life and things, right? And just situations that you have, because you've made those choices for you. I'm also seeing this being us, and then we are elevating others. So is your spirituality elevating yourself and others? Are we in community here? Or does the community serve the queen, right? Also, whatever deity, whatever spirit guide you're connecting with, whatever bond you made, and I know I just said spirit guide and deity, but really any kind of relationship, spiritual or physical, in matter, is it serving you? Like, are they keeping you kind of in anxiety and perfectionism and doubt? Or are they revealing the truth to you? Showing you that there was wisdom in the body, showing you to connect with this or that, showing you to go this way. And you actually feel empowered by it instead of doubtful or fearful. I do feel like there's some messages here about who you're connecting with, like I said, spiritually or physically, that are they leading you towards salvation? And do you feel empowered by your path? Or do you feel like this relationship, this bond, is keeping you in the darkness, in the doubt, in the shadow, in the anxiety? All right? And it's release that. Be the moth, go towards the light, and release things that are keeping you in the dark, that are keeping you anxious, keeping you doubtful, and keeping you small. In my opinion, spirituality, therapy, religion, whatever it is that you vibe with, it's meant to do that. It's meant for you to vibe. It's meant for you to grow and to really flourish and believe in yourself, not to be in service all the time to something and to be in doubt that you're doing well and to continue it's not meant to enhance your limiting beliefs, but it's meant to lead you towards flourishment, towards growth beliefs, towards just feeling your bad self, to feeling like yourself. All right. So this eclipse season is a deep one. A lot of introspection. Don't be afraid of that. Get yourself a journal. I'm a big advocate for journaling. Get yourself a journal that no one else will read. This is only yours because you're meant to pour the truth into it. I think it was Ernest Hemingway that said, being a writer is not hard. You just sit by, your paper and bleed. And I love that. I love that quote because it's true. So when you're journaling, when you're pulling cards, when you're in contemplation, just you and yourself, look at that paper and just bleed. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.